Okay, so I am bringing you another 3 racks build. This time, instead of being the +1 timing attack that's slightly more economical, I'm bringing you a purely economical 3 racks build. We are going to be cutting out that early +1 attack in favor of economics. Let's speed up the beginning because nothing's going to change. We're going to go for our 10 supply, 12 racks, 13 gas, 15 orbital. That is pretty much standard macro. The only difference you could make is potentially going 13 barracks.
Additional
Might
supply
be a tiny
depots
bit more
required.
economic. Not really. So anyways, as you can see, let's slow it back down now that we're getting close to where we want to be. And we're sitting around that. We finished all that, and we're on our 15th supply right now. As soon as this SCV done, this barracks will finish at almost the exact same time. Worker transfer as soon as that gas is ready, of course. Keeping on top of those things. Watch this. Orbital command within 2 seconds of that SCV finishing. So that is perfect timing right there. And this time I remembered to build my supply depot right away. So there we go. Supply depot going down right away. Don't worry about my building placement. It's not really that important. And if we keep looking up on the tab here, I did bring out the 1 Marine. And I do build the 2nd Marine. Yep. I do build the 2nd Marine.
Upgrade complete.
And then as soon as this is done, call down a mule and start an SCV. So we're now at 18 supply, and this is when we're going to be putting down our next barracks. So instead of 17, we're doing 18 for our next barracks, and then we're going to do our tech lab add-on right away, and of course continuing SCV production. This is one of the big things, is this build does not cut SCV production at all. That's why it's a purely economical build for the 3 racks. So as you can see, we have the tech lab add-on going down, we have the 2nd barracks going, 20 supply, 3rd barracks. We're cutting the engineering bay, and we're not getting that early +1 attack for a timing attack. So that's how we can afford to make this economic base. As you can see, continually building these SCVs. As soon as this tech add-on finished, built a Marine, and then once I could afford it, combat shields. Wasn't right away. You might be getting concussive shells if you're going to be building marauders, you might be, whatever. But the important thing is we're not cutting any Marines. We got all of our 3 barracks down by 20 supply. Of course, 22 for your next depot. And then I chose 23 for my refinery. Because I'm starting to get my mineral line saturated. Not quite, but it's getting close. And, this really isn't heavy gas build, so you can go a little bit later gas if you want, because this is not like the 111 build. So as you can see, that barracks finishes. And if we look on the production tab, just have Marines coming out of those. I had 1 Marine come out of each. Still have constant SCV production. Building this tech lab add-on now, and then building a Marine there and a Marine here. So constant production. Forgot about this worker. That would have been useful to either have him build a supply depot right now as the eng bay goes down, or be mining, one of the two. So I'll just pause this for a second just so we can, so I can quickly go over. So as you can see, this tech lab add-on's finishing. These Marines are working that I talked about, and this eng bay I didn't really talk about, but that went down, basically when I could afford it, which was somewhere around 28 supply. Is basically when you can afford it, 27 or 28. And of course, for getting this guy, because as you can see, as soon as eng bay finishes, I will build another supply depot. So I could have either started that supply depot earlier or had him mining just for a few more
Add-on complete.
As you can see now, still constant SCV production. And of course, now I get my reactor. So as soon as this is the first Marine that I built out of this barracks, as soon as it finishes, that transforms into a reactor. And now I decided to just build a Marauder. Really, at this point, the build order is done. This is when you just sort of do whatever you want. You've got your 3 racks now, you've got your reactor coming. You could just build more Marines because they're dirt cheap, and get more of them, or you can cut a couple of Marines to be able to afford a Marauder or 2, especially now that you have that gas. If you were going protoss, you would have built less Marines. You would have built 3 or 4 Marines, and you wouldn't have built these extra 3, and you would have gotten 2 Marauders out instead of those extra ones. And notice this +1, I don't start it right away. I wait until I can afford it, because I'm not making a timing attack, so I'm building units instead of getting that +1 exactly right away. And of course, finally noticing my idle workers. As you can see, I selected it. Building a supply depot, and then I had that guy selected multiple times. Anyways, I keep selecting and then doing nothing with it.
Research complete.
So, as you can see, started the +1. So basically, this build order, once again, takes you up to approximately 30, and then it's really up to you what you want to do. And you still get your engineering bay, but it's been a delayed engineering bay, so you don't have to cut any workers. I missed that. But now I'm just going to show you me goofing around, and you can watch the Marines Armies and SCVs explode because it's quite entertaining to watch them explode. At least I think it is. Maybe it's just some sick perversion in my own head. Pretty sweet build a Marauder. Grenade hits it and boom!